Hello everybody, I'm Dozy Tony, and welcome to this week's edition of The Dream Team, the show where we bring a panel of guests and a panel of experts, and we put our brains together to help you figure out your dreams. We bring guests on the show that tell us their strangest dreams in hopes that we can help them figure them out. And here with me we have our aforementioned panelists, Caleb and Jason.
Hey
Start
there.
with Caleb. Would you be able to give a rundown as to why you're here?
Yeah, for sure. Hi there, I'm Caleb. I'm an accomplished psychoanalyst, and I specialize in oneirology. For anybody who's not aware of that, it is the study of dreams. I love exploring the many wonders of the sleeping mind and trying to unpack all the hidden meanings, found in our dreams, right?
Cool.
Wow.
And now over here we have Jason. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Hey guys, my name is Jason. I'm a Harvard graduate who majored in behavioral therapy. I also studied oneirology heavily, and I loved every minute of it.
Who wouldn't, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
Caleb, discussing dreams is a really big passion of mine. I believe that helping people understand their dreams can really change their lives.
Okay, and these are your panelists for today. And now it's time to introduce our first guest for today. And I'm delighted to introduce William.
Hi, hey there everybody. I'm Will. I'm a student living in Toronto, Ontario, and I'm really excited to share my dream with you guys. It's a weird one, and I honestly have no clue what it means, so hopefully you guys will understand it more than I did.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah, let's get into it.
That's it.
So, I'm standing in line, waiting to put on a big hat. Everyone ahead of me who put on the hat vanished like smoke. When I saw what I was waiting for, I tried to get out of the line. But when I did, they took my shoes from me.
Oh, hey! Oh, my shoe!
The forest we were in, it wasn't the kind of place to be without shoes, so I got back in line and they gave my shoes back. I started panicking, and before I knew it, I was at the front of the line, and they lowered the hat onto my head as I closed my eyes and disappeared, only to reappear at the back of the line.
Well, that's a very interesting dream, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Chilling.
This one might be a little bit of a tough one to decipher, but we'll certainly give it our best. I have a few questions for our panelists. So let's get right into this. First off, why do you think there's this line of people, and why are they in the forest?
Whew, okay, that's a tough one, but I think the line of people could be a representation of your peers and this kind of uniformity that you might not want to be a part of, Like they could all be heading to this destination in their life that you don't want to head to. And in the attempt to leave this line, you could kind of be breaking free of that mold that you feel trapped in.
Okay, I see.
And when it comes to the forest, when we think of forest, we think of like danger and uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is an uncertain time in your life. So, hopefully that explains a few of those elements of that dream for you,
Fascinating.
Definitely.
So what about the hat? What do you think the hat could represent?
Oh, okay. Well, the hat, hats are kind of like masks, I think. You kind of use them to conceal things. And this, think if you're like bald and you don't want people to know that you're bald, you put a hat on, right? Not saying you're bald, obviously, but I think it could kind of be like representing this secret that you might have. I think you could have a secret, and that could be what you're worried about all your peers, noticing. And if we're talking about judgment from your peers, like think of like the hat from Harry Potter, right? Like the sorting hat. Like we're all Harry Potter adults here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So think of that. Like the students come, they get judged, and I think really essentially, I think the hat just kind of means that you're worried about what others might think of you.
Interesting.
Makes a lot of sense. So in this dream, his shoes get taken, but this keeps him from leaving the line. Why would he rather get poofed into nothingness than walk around the forest without shoes?
Well, without getting too dark, in dreams, things tend to get influenced by the things that happen in our waking life, right? When we're awake, right? So in your waking life, things seem completely reasonable, right? And you may not really realize it, but you might not, maybe in your life at the time of the dream, you maybe didn't want to follow the path that was ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you were really scared of the consequences that your decision would have made if you would have left that path, right? So losing those shoes could also be a deterrent. And even though that doesn't really make sense right now, it's one of those things where things only make sense in our dream life rather than our waking life, right? So I don't think you had like a death wish by wanting to like disappear.
Yeah, let's hope not.
But I think you were mainly just scared of like the consequences if you were to change things in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's real.
The end of the dream is probably the most interesting part of the dream, in my opinion. So why do you think it is that Will ends up at the back of the line after he puts the hat on?
I mean, reappearing could possibly mean that it symbolizes like a loop or a cycle that you can't really break out of in your life, right? Yeah. So maybe there was something in your life at the time, or maybe even right now, that was stressful and that you feel trapped in, right? That could be anything from not liking whatever you're doing for work, or it could mean anything from being stressed from education. That's a big one, right?
Yeah,
100%.
Or
Oh,
even,
no, I know nothing
Don't
about
have to
that.
tell me twice.
or commonly even a toxic relationship, which I hope that wasn't what was happening. But ultimately, I think all of these points is just sort of something in your dream or something in your life that you felt trapped in.
All right.
Wow.
There was a lot to unpack there.
Definitely.
But that about wraps up our thoughts on your dream world. So it's a pleasure having you on as a guest.
Yeah,
Thank you for
coming.
giving us so much of your time.
Thanks so much for having me here. It's been amazing. Thanks for breaking down my dream for me.
Yeah, of course.
I think I learned a lot about dreams and about myself even.
Yeah, I think we
appreciate your time.
I think we learned a lot about you too.
William, everybody, give him a round of
Take
applause.
it easy.
What a cool guy. It'll be hard to top that dream, but don't change that channel, because after this commercial break, we'll be back with another dream that'll give us panelists a whole new perspective.
Here at Gentle Warmth Tea, we know how cold and unforgiving Canadian winters can be. Life can be tough in the Great White North, and that's why we can all use a little warmth now and then. We have developed a wide range of delicious flavored teas, best taken before bed. Whether it be snuggly cinnamon, restful raspberry, bedtime blueberry, or dreamy dragon fruit, our teas are guaranteed to leave you feeling relaxed and carefree. So snuggle up with a good book and enjoy the pleasures of gentle warmth, spreading throughout your body.
Hello, and welcome back to the Dream Team. Before the break, we discussed William, whose dream was about a pretty scary hat. And it had us confused initially, but our panelists took a swing at it, and we were able to decipher a lot of potential meanings. It certainly wasn't an easy job, but it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
now
for
we've
sure.
got another guest on our hands. This dream is another dozy doozy, so you don't want to miss it. Please give a warm and cozy welcome to Daniel, and
Daniel.
let's see what this dream tells us about him.
Hi there, my name is Daniel. I'm a Sheridan student from Ontario, and I hope you guys can help me make some sense of my dream.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into it.
So I had this reoccurring nightmare when I was a kid. At the time, I was super scared of carbon monoxide, which is a really stupid thing for a kid to be obsessively scared with. I had no idea what it actually did. All I knew is that it had no odor and was dangerous, so it scared me. The dream always starts with me waking up to my carbon monoxide alarm. I look around me and there's no smoke, nothing. So I start getting worried. So I get up and I go to the living room to look for my parents. When I get to the living room, I see that all our appliances and some of our furniture are just sideways. No damage, nobody hurt, no smoke, no anything. Just most of our appliances and furniture, houseware, all turned on their sides. For some reason, 4-year-old me thought this was terrifying. I guess I assumed that it couldn't be fixed. Little did I know that you could just flip it.
Oh, my switch too.
I was a stupid kid.
Well,
Yeah.
it was certainly confusing.
Yeah, for sure.
But here at the Dream Team, it's our job to unravel this stuff. And now it's the part of the show where we do just that. So I'm going to hand it over to our panel as we try and give Daniel a little bit of insight. So I guess my first question would be, what's the significance of all the furniture and appliances in the Dream?
Well, give me a second. Well, I think it's actually kind of obvious. I mean, the furniture, and I think furniture and appliances, they're often synonymous with like comfort and stability, you know? So I think something messing with that could like indicate this fear of chaos that you might have, right?
Yeah.
So I think really what this means is that you are afraid of uncertainty, like becoming a part of your home life.
Yeah,
So why would Daniel be afraid of the appliances being on their sides without any damage?
Well, I think the furniture being on its side is a visual indicator that it's a sense of, that you're sort of in a sense of danger, right? Maybe you had an underlying anxiety that something could go wrong in your home, right? And maybe when you were a child, whenever you developed the fear of carbon monoxide, it was one of those things where you could imagine it seriously impacting your family. And since you heard so many bad things about it, you probably think about it as associating it disrupting your home life, right?
Makes a lot of
So
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
this dream is sort of a representation of anxiety rooted in your home life.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
there are some strange visuals in this dream, to say
Yeah,
the least.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Why is it that these kinds of absurd visuals always seem to fit right into the dream world, but you think about them outside of that context and suddenly they look really stupid?
Well, I mean, if we're going to answer that properly, we kind of have to get scientific with it. So when we fall asleep, our brain shuts down and enters a state of rapid eye movement, REM, and that's when we're dreaming. So this part of your brain that rationalizes logic, it shuts down, you know, at the beginning. So I guess when we're awake, we think with words, but when we're asleep, we think with pictures. And these pictures in our mind, they don't necessarily have to mesh together to make sense and be rational. They just have to evoke emotion from us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our dreams, they would mush things together that don't make sense together, you know? So our dreams have these insane visuals because the sleeping mind, it just can't rationalize things the same way that we do when we're awake.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you think was so special about this specific dream that it ended up recurring so often?
Well, I think the big takeaway is just sort of the absurd nature of it all, right? And it's also just like, I think the absurd nature and the dream mixed with the emotional impact, right? It just makes it more memorable, which could make it reoccur more often, right?
Yeah.
But also the dream coincided with the anxiety and fear of carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
Meaning that as long as you kept thinking about it, like it's more likely for the dream to happen over and over again.
Yeah, for it to like recur like that.
Yeah, so
for
that's
sure.
probably why it was reoccurring so much.
Well, that discussion was certainly fascinating. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show, Daniel. It means a lot that you come to share your story with us.
Thanks.
I hope we were able to help you uncover some meaning in that dream.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Tony. It was great being here. It was lovely. You guys definitely gave me a lot to think about, and a lot of aspects of my dream are finally starting to make some sense to me now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
happy to hear that.
Yeah. I'm happy we could be an eye-opening experience for you, and hopefully this has been an equally wonderful experience for all you sleepyheads watching at home, snuggled up in your little bed. Don't pass out just yet, though, because the Dream Team will be right back after a short message from one of our sponsors.
Are you having trouble sleeping? Do you spend all night tossing and turning? Are you a little too familiar with the intricacies of your ceiling fan? If these problems are all too common for you, you might be sleeping on an uncomfortable mattress. Did you know that 99% of metrologists agree that uncomfortable mattresses can result in a lack of sleep? That's why here at Cozy Boy Mattresses, we've designed a whole slate of state-of-the-art mattresses to help you get the sleep you deserve. With our patented alpaca fur cushioning and our military-grade springs, we guarantee that you'll be a sound sleeper for the rest of your life. No more counting lines of never-ending sheep. No more desperately chugging warm milk before bed. Once you get one of our amazing mattresses, you'll sleep like a baby no matter what.
Okay, and it looks like time's up for this week. I think we've done a lot today, and we've explained a lot of these really weird dreams pretty sufficiently.
Yeah, I'd say so.
There's just certainly some wild dreams, but I think we're all understanding them a little bit better now that we've talked it out. Wouldn't you guys agree more?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there were definitely some strange dreams for sure, but then
Yeah.
again, you know, like what dreams aren't strange? These are dreams we're talking about.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of dreams. They're all just these crazy little puzzles that our minds come up with every night, and I feel like trying to make sense of them, it's not just fun, which it is,
Yeah,
but
of
it's
course.
also rewarding because you get to learn more about yourself and others, you know,
Absolutely.
in the process.
Yeah, these were some fascinating dreams for sure. Some challenging ones to decipher.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I can
sure.
definitely understand like why our guests were confused about them. But after talking it all out, I think we've all come to a better understanding of it all, right? And sort of where their mindsets are at.
Yeah,
Sometimes all you have to do is just look at things from a different angle, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like on its side.
Just like the furniture.
Just like that
You
dream.
stole my joke.
Oh, sorry.
I couldn't agree more. Well, with that, this week's show comes to an end, and I'd like to thank the panel and our guests for giving us a great episode. Now, if you'll excuse me, I intend on getting some much-needed shut-eye. This is Dozy Tony and Midnight saying good night, everybody.
Night,
Follow
everybody.
your dreams and sleep tight.
Sleep tight.
Good night.